Yo, how's it going, everyone? It's Tekken here. Wish you all a happy and great new year, man. Definitely want to talk to you guys about the future of fighting games. So fighting games for 2023. But before we even get into that, I just got to tell you guys, thank you so much for the amount of support you guys have given me over the last year. You guys have been truly amazing with the amount of support, all the comments, all just the support in general, man. From everybody just joining the Discord, having a good time, all the many discussions that we had. I truly appreciate everything you guys have been doing for me, really, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. But with a new year comes new opportunities and new fighting games to talk about. So 2023 for fighting games is going to be a huge year, because I always like to say that when these games come out, when you start seeing the Street Fighters and the Tekkens, this is when we truly get into the next era of fighting games, right? This is like the next console generation. You think of Street Fighter 4, that was Xbox 360 and the PS3. Then you have the PS4, that was the Street Fighter 5, the Tekken 7, right? Now we have this era, which is Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, and we are now on the PS5, the Xbox Series X's and stuff like that. So now we are finally approaching this era, and I feel like every era has its own sort of things that people try to tackle, or that the things that we try to tackle as a community. And yeah, this is going to be one of those years for sure. Of course, starting off with Street Fighter 6, a lot of people are highly anticipating this title. Everything looks really good, man. A lot of love is going into this project as far as like how much content is inside of the game itself. You know, they got the customization, the full-on story mode, and just the sort of attention to detail the developers are putting inside of each and every character, and just sort of the love and stuff that they're doing. So a lot of people are looking forward to this title. Definitely going to be coming out mid this year, so I believe it was like June, they said, and it is overall shaping up to look like it's going to be an awesome product. Tekken 8 also, we don't know if it's coming out this year, but most likely, you know, a lot of people are expecting it to come around the same time. So Tekken 8 is going to probably be coming out sometime this year, most likely. And from the little that we've seen, it looks really good, man. I'm very excited for this title. I know some people have their own opinions about how the aggressiveness of the game is actually being approached, but overall, the aesthetic of the game and the approach as far as like how they're talking about things and stuff like that, and the future for the game, and just the era that we're in now, right, as far as fighting games, because a lot of games are getting the rollback and stuff like that. So now that more companies are on board with that, you know, we have for sort of future expectations or new standards when it comes to actual practices inside of the FGC. And of course, while I haven't been specifically said yet, Ed Boon has been tweeting a lot about hinting towards the next Mortal Kombat game. So MK12 is most likely coming out this year. We're probably going to be seeing something on that soon. So yeah, that is definitely going to be a highly anticipated title for people who love NRS games. Project L is also a game that we constantly be getting very teased on. You know, we've been getting updates here and there, and from everything that they've been saying and showcasing so far, that game is definitely looking very big. That is going to change the FGC. We don't know if that title is coming out this year, but there has definitely been a lot being showcased for the game. Of course, 2023 isn't just all about the new titles. There are definitely some pre-existing titles that are getting some major updates. Of course, there is Melty Blood Type Lumina. Most likely we're getting season 3 for that. Then there is DNF Duel season is about to finally start with the first character coming out. Spectre, my favorite character, is going to be the first to kick things off. So she's going to be coming to that game, as well as some other characters that they hinted for the season pass. Then there is, of course, Guilty Gear Strive Season 2, right? Of course, we got Sin, but there's, of course, more characters that's supposed to be inside of that season. And, of course, there's an update to King of Fighters 14 as well. Also, there's even more rollback implementations that's going to be happening this year as well for Dragon Ball FighterZ and Sam Show. Maybe Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, we'll see. But overall, it's shaping to be a very impactful year for fighting games. You know, this year, 2022, there wasn't really much that happened. There wasn't too many titles that actually came out. I mean, we got DNF Duel to come out. We got Multiverses. And I believe those are like the two major like things. There were like some re-releases as well. But yeah, it wasn't too much happening for fighting games this year. All the big stuff is happening next year. That's why, or this year. This year is going to be the big year for fighting games now. And of course, like I stated before, with the release of a new fighting game era comes the push for new innovational things inside of the FGC. If we take a look back at Street Fighter 4 period, right? So that was the PS3 era, the Xbox 360. This was a time where their games were big in arcades, right? So the games were very big in arcades, and we would get some of these games very later on. So you would have, like, take BlazBlue, for example, you would have a period where it is in the arcades for about 6 months to a year, and then it will come on console. But then that console release is also not a worldwide release, so then it will be on like the Japanese stores much earlier than it would the American stores or something like that. And then we'll get our chance to play the game like a year and a half later. So yeah, this is something that the new era, the PS4 era, has changed. So PS4, Xbox X, this era has changed that, right? So now during this time, we got a lot more worldwide releases. You know, there wasn't too many arcade releases for this time. There was like Tekken 7, and then Strive had theirs like a little bit later. Even Exart has theirs, but like, you know, the later games had fewer arcade editions, right? Like the Dragon Ball Fighters, the DNF Duels, and the Strives, right? So these are going to be just titles that have preceded the struggle of having arcade only releases. Now, of course, this was a time for pandemic for a lot of us during these last few years, and that definitely impacted the arcade scene very drastically, unfortunately. So that may played a part in some of the things that have occurred, but without a shadow of a doubt, it is the thing that pushed the PS4 era. So the Street Fighter 5 era, Tekken 7 era, this is the time where we push for rollback, right? So rollback was a huge push at this current time, and that is why we got a lot of companies on board with rollback right now. So that's why you're getting Dragon Ball Fighters. So Bandai is on board with it. You know, ArcSys is on board with it. Street Fighter 6 now has rollback. So, you know, we know Capcom is on board with it. So a lot of companies, even SNK now with the King of Fighters, is all on board with the rollback now. So a lot of the major companies now are on board because of the community push, which unfortunately took a pandemic to happen, but it did happen at the very least. And then here comes the modern era for fighting games. Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, Project L, and all the above, right? So now there's a new innovational push on the horizon now, and there's going to be a couple of things here actually. So one of the big things I think is definitely going to happen is a lot of people are going to want crossplay for games. We know we're seeing that inside of Guilty Gear Strive at the moment, and then there's live service games now coming out, which is the second thing. So we're going to see the push for live service games inside of the fighting game genre, right? So we have Multiverses, we have Project L that's also going to be free to play. These are going to be live service games inside of the fighting game genre. And of course, this is going to push crossplay even more because Multiverses have crossplay. Project L most likely is going to have crossplay as well. And of course, Guilty Gear Strive is already on the crossplay. So crossplay is going to be something that a lot of people are going to be asking for. The other thing, of course, that been started in the PS4 era, but hasn't really been super developed is just making fighting games come out of their arcade area ports. So if you don't know what I mean, basically fighting games back then were pretty much just ported over. So pretty much you would just have like an arcade mode, maybe a story mode, but mainly arcade mode, training room, you know, a few mission modes or whatever, probably a time trial mode, and then like online. So it was very like arcadey as far as like how these games come out. But now, you know, they are trying to make it to where they're more actual video games with real packages. You look at Street Fighter 6, you look at Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, where they literally put the entire like mobile game experience all within the game with boss raid battles and stuff. Or, you know, Dragon Ball Fighters, how they have like the raid battles. They have the like story mode that's like an RPG type thing where you know, still unlock characters and stuff. They have all these like little fun game modes inside there now where they have like you know, just different modes inside of the game that you could play that they added much later and stuff. So these fighting games are now becoming more full-blown packages than they ever have been before, and I think we're going to start seeing that actually introduce even more now into the new modern era of fighting games. So yeah, guys, that's everything I feel about the future of the FGC, the future of the modern fighting games. Let me know down in the comments below how you guys feel about everything that I stated, or just how you feel about the future of fighting games yourselves. Are you excited for certain titles? Are you excited for certain updates for certain games? How do you feel about the new innovational period for fighting games? What do you think is going to be the next biggest thing that we're going to push for as a community for these developers to put inside of our games? Also, what other type of innovational things you think we'll start to see? Definitely let me know all of that down in the comments below. Once again, I just want to take the time to thank each and every one of you for an amazing year last year. We did some great things last year, man, and I cannot wait to do even more things this year. I got a lot more things planned for the channel and for our content here, either on the YouTube and of course on Twitch/DykenXam. If you're not following, go and follow the boy. But yeah, we got a lot more things planned here, and I cannot wait to share everything with you all. So yeah, let's all strive for improvement and make this year one to be remembered. Anyway, if you like anything I had to say today, drop me a like, really appreciate it. And if you want more from me, follow me on my socials. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn notifications so you know the next video goes live. As always, my name is Dyken, and I'll see you next time. Signing out.